to burn. What about Sheldon Adelson, that crazy creepy-looking jerk? Yeah, but what about Trump?
Oh, my God.
Who said, what?
We must march on Washington.
We must march on Washington, take to the streets.
This democracy is a
revolution.
sham.
Yes. Wow.
I just love a reality TV star who's like run casinos into the ground. How do you lose money running a casino? You have to be the dumbest individual on the planet. And yet he's telling us about shams. I mean, I find it's just incredible to me.
Okay, here's what was weird. I was watching Fox early in the evening. Fox, from almost the beginning, was subdued.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And they also were ahead. They were calling states before the other networks were.
Were they calling them right?
And they were calling them right.
Yeah.
And they were calling them in states where they couldn't have been happy. And I was really stunned by that. They were way ahead. They called Wisconsin before the others. They called Pennsylvania before the others. They called Tammy Baldwin's win in Wisconsin before the others. I mean, and maybe that was partly what was driving Rove nuts. And then when they called Ohio, he just went off the ledge. I don't know, but
just speculating. I know for a fact, and because I've read people who are in that world say this. Generally speaking, their access to exit polling information, they have hours in advance before they can make
before
a
they
declaration
can say
because they want to keep. They kind of put a moratorium on it until after the polls close. So generally speaking, they've got a pretty good sense. And my guess is it probably has less to do with Fox rushing and the other networks holding back because they don't want to be the target of at the center of a firestorm.
Look at that liberal media, blah, blah,
right,
blah. No,
another Florida, another whatever. But Fox, of course,
true.
because nobody's ever going to accuse Fox of being in the liberals, a servant for the liberal cause, doesn't have to worry about that.
Well, I think that's true. I also think, though, that like the networks, the regular broadcast networks and CNN and MSNBC, the cynic in me says they also sort of want to keep. They want to keep the tension going, keep you watching. Okay, we got a call. Got a call. Hello. Hi, caller.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
I just tuned in a few minutes ago, but I am shocked the number of people that still vote by paper ballot, including my daughter and son-in-law who live in Madison, Wisconsin, and my brother who lives in Fort Lauderdale. That they fill out a ballot. Color in the little circle.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, I've never done that in my entire life as a voter.
There's some people who want to go back to that too.
Well, some people would say that that's actually the safest way to vote.
At least when you fill in the one circle, the paper doesn't magically shift it over to the other other circle.
Right, that's true. But I just think it's so, I don't know, it's not even old school because I didn't have it when I was old school.
Right. Oh, yeah, no, I hear you.
Point. And I don't know why, but I thought Madison, Wisconsin, that's the capital city of the state.
Yeah.
And it's a very progressive city.
Yeah.
I used to live there. And I lived there before Pittsburgh, and I'm trying to remember how I voted. But I think I had a machine. I think I had a lever kind of a machine. Yeah. So
turn the little lever.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's about. That's odd.
Yeah, it's bizarre. But anyway.
Okay.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you.
And Ray writes, I hate being a defender of the church, but we haven't given a shit what the bishops say since the invention of the light bulb.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Sure, some fanatics clutch their beads and swoon at the sight of a robed, satin-slippered old white guy, but the people of faith and enlightenment have left the ancient behind and put up with them as an anachronism.
Yeah.
We turn to the nuns for our theology more than the priests.
Yeah, I mean, I totally think that's true. I totally agree. I don't even know that you were really being a defender of the church there, per se, Ray. I mean, I think if you see the church as being that's the people, then you don't really have a problem with that perspective.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see Sarah Palin? I just want to throw this in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because she showed up on Fox, and I want to say, if you haven't seen her lately, check it out. Check it out.
She looking a little haggard? Is that
haggard? She looks like she's skeletal.
Oh,
she
dear.
looks hideous. She doesn't even look pretty.
Well, I'm glad I didn't vote for her then.
You know, why didn't she look? She looks totally Botoxed.
Yeah.
It's like her hair like this, hair like this, and she had some like false tan on.
Yeah.
And believe me, on Twitter, people were saying, "What happened to?" Apparently, she's become a workout guru. That's her next reincarnation. And she's worked her way out all the way into, obviously, anorexia or something.
Oh, dear.
Also, the friend I was watching with said, is there something at Fox News where you have to be a blonde to be... They don't have anybody... They all look...
No brunettes.
As a matter of fact, no. There were, like, at one point, there were, like, 4 identical blonde babes on the show last night.
Yeah. You know, I can't remember where it was, but it was a piece by somebody who had worked as a makeup person at Fox and worked on, and it was interesting. What she said is that the Fox aesthetic when it came to women was just like tons of makeup, obviously, and so on and so forth. And that essentially she was like, it was the equivalent of a Southern beauty pageant thing.
Right. That's what
and
they
she
all
was like,
look like.
it's a totally deliberate strategy to appeal to a very certain kind of demographic or whatever. And
well,
it was very interesting.
I was talking to a guy who has done consulting work for Fox last night, and I asked him about it, and he said, absolutely, there's you know, their key demographic and what they aim for are young white males.
Yeah, sure.
And what do you parade before young white males? But blonde babes.
I gotta say, it works on middle-aged males too.
And then
there's a case where the parties cross in some demographic.
And then you turn on MSNBC and you get like short-haired brunette lesbians. That's I love it. I love it.
Although she's easy on the eyes as well.
Oh no, she's a very attractive woman. But she couldn't look like that and be on Fox, even if she were a right winger.
Yeah.
Well, isn't this nice?
I feel like we should smoke a cigarette now.
Wow. I mean, better than you could have hoped.
Yeah.
Just a wonderful election. And way to go. But see what I want. I do not want what happens all the time with you Democrats. You go like this. Well, there, that's done. And then you go to sleep.
That is the
until
one...
4 more years. And then you rouse yourself. And we screw ourselves and screw our president and his ability to do what you elected him to do.
This is the one thing we can learn from that other side, is that sense of a movement that lasts in between the 4 years.
If we don't get that, we're as clueless as the Republicans in our own way, as set in our ways and as out of it. Okay? So please, please keep talking to people you know. Let's keep this up.